Let's recreate this simple content page. You're welcome to my design workshop. Where I help beginner content creators build design skills and put them to use. By the end of this lesson, you'll learn how to create a simple ebook content page layout, add textured backgrounds, and you'll be confident enough to try it out on your own. Because in this workshop, we practice what we learn. All right, now that that's done, we're moving on to the next page, which is our content page. I'm going to add the second page by coming over here and clicking on Add Page. You can either do it this way or you can come to the top. You'll see these icons over here. You can click Add Page over here. I'm going to do that by clicking on this Add Page button right underneath the cover page. Okay, we've added our third page. Now this is going to be our content page. Now I want you to press T on your keyboard. Type in here content page. Move it up somewhere in the center. We'll move it again once we change the font. Now come to the font section over here and look for Tan Mon Chéri. Click on that. And then you can center it right over there. It gives you that margin so you know it's centered. And then you see the line that goes right through. You know it's in the middle. All right. The next thing we're going to do is change the font size to 31. So I'll click on content page and change the font size over here to 31 and press enter. Okay. Now that that's done, we're going to need our marble surface. To do that, you can go back to your element section, go to recently used, click on see all and grab that marble, which for me is this one over here. Now, I'm going to use this as some type of border. So I'll extend it all the way up here to the top and then all the way to the bottom. You'll see where this is going shortly. So just extend it. See the thick line shows you where it ends. I'm just leaving a bit of a margin on the sides. And then some space between content page and the marble. The next thing we're going to do is search for a rounded picture holding frame from the element section. So I'll type in here rounded square picture holder frame. And it should bring that up. I'll find it in my recently used section because I've already looked for it, but I just want to show you how you can also find it. So if you come into this frame section, you should see it somewhere here. I think this is the one. I'm just going to click on it. It is by Canva Create Studio. So you can also type that in there. It'll help bring it up quicker. I'll click on that and extend it inside the frame. Also leaving a border around it. So it looks something like this. Just want to make sure it is equal on all sides. Yeah, that's it right there. Now I'm going to change the color to white. So I click on it. You'll see this says color. And then I will select white. Yeah. So you should have something like this. All right. What I want to do now is change the font of this to 36, make it a little bigger, press enter, and then I will move it up slightly, making sure that it is centered, leaving a good amount of space between the marble and that title. I think I want to bring it down slightly. Yeah, this is where I want it to be. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this contents page over here. I'm going to copy it. So command, or you can either duplicate or copy. I'll just duplicate. So command D for Mac and control D for Windows users. I'll bring it over here, left align, and then I'll change it to page 1. Change the font size to 18, making it smaller. And then the next thing is to go into the element section to find a shape. I'm looking for the rounded square, so I'll just type it in here. Enter. There it is, very first one that appears. We're going to extend it on the page, move it up, and reduce the size. Make it this small. I'll reduce the size and then position it here. Just extend it a little bit more. Make sure that I have some space between the page and the rounded square where I'm going to put the information. So I'm going to change the color of this to the color of our document, which is this light orange over here. So yeah, we've got that on there. So this is what it looks like. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lock these two in place. First, I'll group them. So I'll copy the marble and the white paper. I'm calling it a paper, but you know what I mean. And the white rounded frame. I'll just group those two together. And then I will lock them up. Boop. Okay. So that's locked in place. It's not going to move. See, I'm trying to move it. Nothing is happening. That way I can play around with whatever that I'm typing onto the sheet. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is duplicate this. I'll copy and Command D or Command or Control D. And then I'll move it to the bottom. And I'll change this to page 2. I'm going to do this 5 times because there are going to be 5 different parts of this document. So this is page 1, page 2, and I'm going to add 3, 4, 5, and that will be it. I think I need to reduce the size of this slightly just to make room for the others. I'll still keep this at 18, so I'll come back and change that to 18. And I'll do the same for this. Make it a little smaller. Keep this at 18. Yes, that's what I want to do. Keep it where it's at. Okay. You'll realize that as you're moving things around, you'll see the numbers appearing, showing you how much space you're leaving between the elements. All right, let's copy these 2 and then duplicate so we can bring that to the bottom. When you duplicate the 2, you'll get 2 out of that. Okay, so I've got these 2 here. I think I need to make this smaller. I'm just going to copy all of it and reduce the size all at once. How cool is that? Okay, and then I will move it to the left hand side. All right. Next, I will duplicate just 1 because I only need 1 more. So let's duplicate this. Command D. And I will put that underneath over here. Now it's time to adjust, move things around until it fits just the way we need it to. I'll start with the first one. Move it up slightly. Extend this a bit. And then still reduce the size. Okay. And I will also move this up a little bit more over here. Yes, so this is the size I'm going for. The best thing to do would be to change it in the beginning and then just duplicate everything. So I'll duplicate this, bring it over here, move this, remove this. I'll duplicate this, bring it over here. Then I'll duplicate that, move it underneath there, and then I'll duplicate this and bring it over here. Okay. Now we've got what we need. All of it is on here. Page 1, page 2. I'm going to change this to page 3. 3. Then I'm going to change this to page 4. 4. Then I'm going to change this to page 5. Just shift it a little bit because it was not well positioned. Yes, so we have our design complete. I think we need to change the spacing between the page and the rounded square, especially for page 4 and 5. I'm going to just move this up slightly over here. Move this. And then move this page 5 down a bit. And move this lower just to create some more space. Okay, I think I'm happy with where it's at right now. I just need to change the spacing here because it is quite wide as compared to the rest. Let's look at it again. Okay. Okay, so now let's change the colors. I'm going to start with the text, the title over here, content page. We're changing this to the dark purple over here. And all the text will be that color as well. I'm going to click on change all at the bottom over here so that everything that is currently black will change to purple because all our font will be this dark purple color. So I'll click on that and it says color change across all pages. Easy peasy. Okay. Next, I'm going to bring on more text so that we can include some information on the content page. Press T on the keyboard and type in welcome page. I'll bring this down. I'll just click and bring this over here. Change the font size to 20. I'll extend it so that it is in one line. Align left. Now we're going to change the font to League Spartan over here. It says document fonts. You'll see it over there, League Spartan. Now let's center it. Next, we will just duplicate what we have over here. Move it to the second rounded square. And type in here, introduction. Next, we're going to duplicate that. Command D or Control D. Move it over to the next rounded square. And this time we're going to type here, the right mindset. Okay, it's nicely aligned. Again, we will duplicate, position that in the next one. And then we will type getting started. Reposition it so that it is centered. And then we will duplicate that again. I'll change that to next steps. Next, we're going to spice up this page by bringing on some patterns. Let's go to our guide. I'll be selecting this one over here. So Command C, and then I will bring it over here. I'll be tucking it into the left-hand side corner. To do this, I'm going to reduce the size slightly, bring it forward slightly, and flip it. I'll select flip horizontal, and then I will tuck it in over here like this. The next thing we're going to do is we will position it backward. All right, so that's tacked in there, and then I will duplicate and move this over here. I'll also flip it horizontal, and then I will tack it in here like this. All I need to do again is to change the position. You can click on to back as well, and then it will move backwards. So what we've done here is they're both facing each other. You'll see that they look the same, but facing each other, and that's what I'm going for. You can position it however you like, whatever works for you. You can do that. Okay, we will do the same for the bottom. So I'll just click here, duplicate that, and then tack it into the bottom. Again, move it backwards. I'll just go to back, and I will click on this one, duplicate, and tack it in here. And again, I will select to back. All right, now I'm going to change the transparency of a few of these rounded squares. I'll click on this second one. That's one of the ones I'm changing. I'll click on transparency, and I'll type in here 46. For transparency, you can either move this or type in what you're looking for. I'm moving it to 46. I'm going to do the same for page 4. Typing in here 46 and then pressing enter. Okay, so this is the effect I'm going for. Okay, so our content page is complete. So, you've learned how to create a simple ebook content page. Now go on and get creative.